for EA Sports College Football. I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, and Jesse Palmer with me in the booth. Guys, we are ready to tee it up. And the Broncos will get us started with the opening kickoff. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. The defense is the first one they've used this half. Try to get it to the edge. Tried to move that pile forward. He maybe gets 2. He's down at the 21.
You know, I know that wasn't a big gainer, but that's going to set some stuff up later for this offense. Trying to run the football and get it established is huge because play-action pass is a big part of what they try to do when they're throwing the ball.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Looking to fire. Finds his target down the middle. They stay aggressive and push their way out to the 33, and it's first down.
Really nice job on that play. Quarterback and receiver being on the same page. Quarterback not telegraphing the throw, and the receiver does a nice job finding the soft spot in the defense, just settling down and giving his quarterback a nice target to throw to.
Looking downfield on first down. Unloads to the wideout. Complete to the left. They'll get him down at the 48 after the 15-yard gain. We talk a lot about Michigan building its offense around the running game, but they've always had an effective quarterback who can make plays down the field.
And I think some people hear effective, Reese, and take that as an insult, right? Like, I don't want to hear about my quarterback being effective. I want him to be explosive. I want him to be dynamic. But Michigan doesn't really have those guys most of the time at that quarterback spot. But when they find those good ones, they have great seasons.
The Wolverines can really attack on this second and short. Looking for room. It's Lamb. They get it down to the 35 before he stopped. 10-yard pickup on the play, and it's a first down.
Man, I love when offenses are not afraid to run the football consecutive times in a row or multiple times in a row. I know everybody wants to air it out, but, man, getting that ground game established, making those linebackers and safeties come up and know that we're going to run the football, I like the way they started this football game.
Looking to throw on first down. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
You want to make a guy that's elite, that's one of the best in the business, start to become more and more human. Keep getting hits on him. Nice job by the defense, getting in his face, being physical. Make him feel your presence. Don't let him get comfortable back there in that pocket.
They've got the screen set up. Not a whole lot of room there on that screen pass as it just never developed.
Bells and whistles have got to be going off in this quarterback's head now. It's third and long, so you know you're expecting pressure. You got to know where your hot routes are. You got to be able to read the coverage and make sure you get this football out of your hands quickly to not take a sack or worse, turn the football over.
Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. How about a little rhythm that you can tap your toe to on that throw and catch for the first down?
Well, the defense just needs to do a better job on that critical situation. That was a golden opportunity to get off the field, but quarterback and receiver, they were just better on that one. Nice throw. Nice job by the receiver getting his feet in bounds.
And the Wolverines, once backed up in the shadow of their own goalpost, have put quite a drive together. They'll go to the ground. Brought down, but not before he bowled his way inside the 10 to the 8. Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. The give to the back. And how about the work up front by that big defensive line?
Listen, the offensive coordinator's best friend in the red zone is the running game. Make guys commit near the line of scrimmage so I can throw behind. This defense is good, but I'm going to challenge them. I'm going to try to be the more physical team. I love the play call. I think you keep running the football and stay physical.
The terrain gets rough this deep in the red zone. Third down, they can pick up the first without scoring. And the incomplete pass will bring up fourth down.
Third and short, I have no problem with RPO because I can run it or I can throw it if I see something opening. Maybe he should have ran that one. You got 2 downs possibly to still try to make it happen, but he definitely didn't throw an accurate ball.
They'll play it safe and try for 3. And as a holder picks his spot, it'll be a 25-yard attempt. Field goal is good. And with that, they break the seal on the scoring. It's 3-0. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. After putting 3 on the board, the kickoff unit ready to go. Looks like he's going to bring it out. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Wants to go up top on first down. Finds his tight end. Nice gain on that play, but a little bit short of the first down.
Nice quick throw there. And it's so important for quarterbacks to be able to find your rhythm and to be comfortable and confident. You want to just get the ball out quickly, make it an accurate and easy throw. And you can tell that these two guys, they rep that play in practice all the time, and it's now showing up here on game day.
The Broncos with a second and short to keep this drive moving. They go to the ground. There he goes. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36.
Well, the defense is on their heels right now. They're going to have to find a way to stop this guy. When he's got a head of steam, boy, he is hard to bring down.
They've got it at the 36. It's a 1st and 10. Looking to throw on first down. Finds his big tight end. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
This offense is just so dynamic because they've got playmakers at all the skill positions, right? We just saw a big play in the running game. Now we see one in the passing game. There's not one dude that you can key on here if you're on defense to try and slow them down.
And the Broncos come to the line with a new set of downs. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. Sends it back in motion. Wants to throw on first down. Here comes the heat. Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down at the 42. The Broncos moving quickly to the line.
What a great play. This guy is a force on this D-line. You think about Michigan football defensively, they've got dudes up front. Aiden Hutchinson, Brandon Graham, Mozzie Smith, Rashawn Gary. Guys that can win one-on-one and guys that change and force your game plan to have to adapt for them. You need to double team these guys if you want to have any chance. This is that type of player. He's got so much ability.
You hear about shot plays all the time. Offensive coordinators love to take deep shots down the field. They plan them. They plan when they're going to do them, and I bet you we'll plan to see a few more throughout this game.
Third and long from the 42. If they can get some of it, it might give them a chance to go for it on fourth down. Wide receiver comes in motion. On third and long, no secret what he needs here. He rifles one deep to the left. A big-time catch along the sidelines. Got the foot down and an excellent throw, too. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. To the air on first down. And the pass falls incomplete, and we are through one quarter. We've reached the end of the period, and Michigan has the lead. Guys, let's have a look at the stats as we've played one period. They are lined up and ready to go and get things started here in the second. They'll immediately call timeout.
Timeout, Boise State.
First play of the period will be a second down. Wants to throw again. This time it's complete. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. Third down play from the gun. Finds us back in the middle. And that'll not only be a first down, it'll be first and goal from the 7.
And I like it. Third down and short, and this offense stays aggressive. And now they're set up. Forget the field goal. We're not looking for 3 now. Now set up in a first and goal, trying to get a touchdown.
They'll send the back in motion. Here's the snap, looking to throw. Takes the easy completion. And he cruises his way to the house. Touchdown, Broncos!
And listen, if I have a playmaker at running back like that with that kind of speed, yeah, I'm going to throw the swing to him too. He drops back, surveys the field. He says, I know my guy can make a play, gets the ball in his hands right now on the swing. He does the rest, gets in for the touchdown.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. On the move from inside his 5. He's not going to make it to the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 17. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. They'll start this drive with a chance to regain the lead, down 7-3. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. Gets it out fast. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36. That's a way to give yourself some breathing room. Now the second play of the drive from the 36. On the move, it's Lamb. Breaks the tackle. The freshman brought down after a really nice run there.
I love this guy because he brings a physicality to this Michigan offense. Bo Schembechler would have loved this guy. He would have loved to jog a few extra tight ends on the field, get the QB under center, student body right, and give this guy the football. He would have fit in perfectly with his running style. Man, he is hard to bring down.
And the defense snows him under after a very short gain.
And that's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's first down and the defense thinks you might be running the football, you still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
Got 3 on first down. It's 2nd and 7. Back to pass. Under fire. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
And you must do that against a guy of this caliber. This kind of QB will absolutely pick you apart. You got to get hurries. You got to get pressures. And when you can get hits and make him feel the physicality of the game, maybe you can take that guy and knock him down a few notches.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Picked off. That's number 15 on the year. Trying to take it back. And they capitalize not only on the pick, but the great return to give the offense tremendous field position.
And he can fill up the hand now with that pick, man. That's number 5 on the season, consistently making plays for his defense. Always a guy where we're going to be calling his name over and over again.
A little wrinkle here as they go to the Wildcat and use the extra blocker. Direct snap. Slithers into space. Got the first down and more. And he'll finish the run in the end zone. Touchdown Broncos.
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They are going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
And he's not going to take the touchback. Gets it out to the 20, about 5 yards short of where he'd be if he'd just taken a knee in the end zone. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. There's a little more urgency attached to this drive. They've only been able to put up a field goal and start this one down 14-3. Defense wants to bring the heat. Leaves it with the running back. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
And this offense on first down, man, they go backwards. And they built a deficit, and they've been sluggish. And they just need something to get going, to get started, because they've kind of looked out of sorts and out of rhythm this whole game.
After getting knocked back to open this drive, it's 2nd and 12. Wants to go up top. Finds his man in the middle. And the defense had that one well covered. Just a short game there.
And I love when you understand when I'm supposed to put some RPMs on that football. You can tell he's thrown over the middle of the field. He knows he's got defenders there. I got to throw this thing in there quick, fast, in a hurry. Nice job by the quarterback.
This Boise State crowd bringing the noise. It's deafening here on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Soft spot in the middle. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36.
When these wide receivers work the middle of the field, so much of this is feel. Understanding where the holes are in the zone or understanding how to get leverage on a man. And these wide receivers are dangerous nowadays because they do it so fast and see that so quick and make those plays over the middle.
The Wolverines getting set on 1st and 10. Looking downfield on first down. Fires to the wideout. Just a Baryshnikov-like move on the sideline to tap that toe and get the first down.
That's a really nice pass. You can see why this guy right here gives the Michigan faithful reason to be optimistic. You know, for years we know Michigan has always been good at running the football, but they've got to be able to throw. And they've got to be more consistent making big plays through the air. This guy gives them that chance.
Finally, this offense starting to shake the cobwebs and get things moving. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw on first down. Finds his man. It's Lamb. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and a score on this drive would do wonders for their confidence. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. Looking to fire. Bringing the heat. And they weren't able to make the connection. They were looking for an explosive play.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
To throw again. Throws to the wideout. Got his man downfield. Brought down at the 20-yard line after ripping off the big play.
Well, this guy's having a day. It doesn't matter where he's lined up or what routes he's running. He just seems to always be getting open, and his quarterback is taking notice. He's looking his way. Nice job there, throwing in time, getting it to him in space and allowing him to go to work. This is turning into a very nice statistical day for this wide receiver.
Getting work done on the ground. He's pulled down at the 14-yard line. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Defense showing blitz here. Back to pass on 2nd down. Right down the middle. Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with the turnover. Taking it the other way. Inside the 50. He's at the 30. He's at the 10. And he will roll into the end zone. Touchdown, Boise State. They've extended the lead and taken control here in Week 9. Look, I know it's only the 2nd quarter, but we're starting to see a pretty significant gap develop between these two teams right now.
No doubt. When your defense is scoring, your offense is scoring, good things happening for your ball club. This defense on point, reading their scouting report, making big plays.
Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. Let's see if he can make a play on the return. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Plenty of time to work, not any time to waste as they take over here in the final 2 minutes of the half. The give to the tailback. Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe. 2nd and 7.
It's definitely too early to panic, but there's some bad feelings going on for this offense right now. You're way down on the scoreboard. I know we're still in the first half, but after that last play, it's pretty obvious. You can't run the ball. You're becoming a one-dimensional offense at a time when you need to be able to score some points. So either get it done through the air or you've got to be more physical up front.
That'll That'll be good enough for a first down. They'll mark it at the 30.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 30. Wants to go up top on first down. He's going to throw deep right side. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Back to pass. Quickly to the tight end. And he gets it to the 44-yard line. It'll be a first down.
I remember back when I played for the Florida Gators, if you had 3,000 yards passing in a season, you might be an All-American. I know times have changed, but with that last completion, this guy's already over the 3,000-yard milestone this year.
And the Wolverines with the 1st and 10. Looking to throw on first down. Rushes on him. Plucks it out of the air. And he's brought down after a nice gain. We got a timeout here late in the... and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break.
And I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox.
Wants to throw on first down. And it's picked off for the 3rd time today. And they make the play and make sure there's not any scoring opportunity. Before the end of the half.
And he makes a play in the back end. Nice job reading the pass, and that's his 2nd of the season. This guy, unbelievable job seeing the quarterback, breaking on the quarterback, and going and getting that big play.
Offense has enough time to get off the play before we head to the half. To the ground with the back. He had all kinds of company as soon as he got it. He had to fight his way back just to get to the line of scrimmage. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. They'll have just enough time to get 1 more snap before the half. Back to throw, and they've got to be aware of the clock. He wants to take the top off. Finds a spot in the middle. They finally make the stop, and that one will make those halftime stats look a little nicer as we head to the break. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. Wolverines will try to kick this one deep to get things underway in the second half. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. They got plenty done through the air in the first half, and we'll see if they even need to look for balance as we start the third quarter.
Well, and I think defensively, you understand, like the running game isn't a big part of the plan. I wonder how they adjust and play more coverage to this pass-happy offense.
Yeah, so you're going to have to be ready if you're a quarterback then. You're probably going to see some different coverages. You might see a little bit more blitz in the second half as well, so you have to know where your answers are.
Last incompletion leaves them still sitting at their own 25 with 2nd and 10. Pulls and throws off the RPO. Breaks into the open. Really good job to pick up a chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line.
And those aren't the guys I'm leaving open on defense. These slot wide receivers, they've got the space in the middle of the field to work. I got to make sure that I got somebody inside of him. I got somebody outside of him. I can't give him the football because a lot of times these guys, they're good with it after the catch. They got that quickness. They got that speed. And he showed some.
Turning on the Jets. He goes out of bounds across the 25, marking at the 24 in this defense. His head is spinning.
How nice is it as a quarterback when you don't have to throw post routes to get great stats? No, I can just throw it quickly to one of the fastest players in the entire nation and let him burn this defense.
Quarterback making adjustments. To the air on first down. Throws to the back. Got his man. And so you got a guy who makes a play downfield like that. How anxious do you think they're going to be to continue in man coverage?
Yeah, I don't know, Reese. They're going to need a plan. They're going to maybe want to think about more zone coverage or maybe even bracketing this running back if he decides to come out of the backfield, because right now they don't seem to have an answer for him.
Lining up in the Wildcat. Let's see what they've got. Back has it. Can't get him to the ground. He'll step out of bounds at the 11.
And listen, the offensive line has to do their job, but a really good job by the running back, understanding where his hole is. Go hit it, get the first down, don't mess around. Nice job following his hole, getting positive yards.
We thought we'd see a little Wildcat formation in this spot, and here it is. Rides it and reads it. Touchdown Broncos! And the pummeling has started.
Wow, this offense, they have a lot of faith in this running back, knowing if they get down in this area of the field, he can get it done and he can answer the bell. 2 rushing touchdowns already for this offense.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Hey, guys, wanted to give you a quick update on a game happening in Conference USA. Jacksonville State is ahead in this one. This team plays a fun brand of football there in CUSA, but they're a long way from closing this out. They're up by 4 over Louisiana Tech. We'll keep you updated as this one goes forward in a game that could shake up the CUSA race significantly.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Fires to the right. He's got it. He'll be forced out of bounds. They'll mark him down at the 44-yard line, and this offense has it going.
I know the offense is down by a lot here in the second half. You just need one big play, though, to spark the offense, get the confidence going, and they may have found it right there in that completion. Good throw, good catch. Now we got to keep it going.
Looking downfield on first down. Oh, they're after him. No more time to throw. Quarterback is sacked at the 35.
Sometimes you beat your guy and you get sacked so clean, and sometimes, like on this play, the DBs do a great job covering, make the QB hold the football, and then the rush gets home.
Second down, they'll go to the air. And that's going to fall to the ground incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. Third down coming.
This offense hasn't been able to generate a lot of points in this one. Here in the third quarter, you're seeing the defense and how much pride they take on being physical. It's not just stopping the run. Guys in the back end flying to the football in the air, getting hits on guys, that time on the receiver, knocking it loose.
That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Well, after struggling so much in the first half, you thought they would have made some adjustments here at halftime to see if they can open up this passing game. But early on in the second half, you're just not really able to get that done. Incompletion on third down in your own end, you're expecting them to punt.
They're throwing for it on fourth down. Gonna take a shot. He's got it. First down and more. Boy, did he look as if he was going to go. Gets it down to the 37.
On the play.
Well, that tells you a lot about their confidence in this quarterback. Fourth down early in the game on your own end, and you go for it. But when you make decisions and throws like that, it's easy to see why.
Stonewalled again. No gain on the play. They keep trying to stick with the running game, but there's not much getting done. They'll go to work in the air on second down. Fires to the big fella. They stop him at the 22, 15-yard pickup on the play, and a first down just outside the red zone.
That's a huge throw for the offense, but they're down by a ton. They're going to need a lot more of that, and it's not going to be easy considering the defense knows they're probably going to be throwing the ball every play here in the second half moving forward.
In search of their first touchdown of the game, they are on the move with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw on first down. Throws to the tight end. He's got an open man. Huge game before he goes out of bounds, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
It's important on offense to get the tight ends involved in the passing game. These are big fellas that can run. And this guy's a big target, so nice job on that play.
Trying to slam it. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
And in that situation on the 1-yard line, the defense brings so many guys. Palmer gets in the backfield, creates the negative play.
Yeah, I think we're seeing the overall athleticism of this defense. They've got guys flying to the ball.
Can the D deny them on 2nd and goal? Wants to go up top. Lets it go to the end zone. And he was trying to pay off this red zone opportunity, but it's incomplete.
And it's a good job by this defense, man. You drop back, you play really smart, play sound. Understand, there's not a lot of field to cover, and they couldn't fit the ball in a window. Good pass defense.
If this defense can come up with a stop here, they will take a giant step toward winning this game. Someone not clear on the snap count. It'll be a false start, and they'll move it back. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. This offense simply has to pay this off on 3rd and goal. They desperately need a touchdown. Maybe some confusion on the snap count. It's going to be a false start. Mental errors like that just kill drives. We'll see if they can overcome it. This offense in dire need of a touchdown. Is 3rd and goal, but this is probably 4-down territory. D showing blitz. They might be bluffing. On 3rd and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. Can't make the grab as he was going for 6 right there.
I know we're in the 3rd quarter, but because they're trailing like they are, they're right now in 4-down mode. throw an incompletion down in the red zone. This is a no-brainer. They're going to be throwing it again, and we'll see if the defense can step up here.
Now looks as if they'll settle for the field goal try. Never a doubt.
And listen, y'all know in the booth and everywhere how I feel about kickers. Don't always love leaving it on their foot, so to speak, but nice job executing. He keeps doing stuff like that. I'll keep trotting him out there.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. And the coverage team able to make the tackle. This drive will start at their own 27-yard line. Quarterback may change this route. Wants to go up top on first down. Pocket breaking down. And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19.
And that is a great job by the defense, containing and constricting the pocket. There was nowhere for the QB to go, and he did not have a lot of time. He went down quick.
And the Broncos have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Runs through a tackle. Didn't get much done on that run. He'll fight his way out and maybe pick up a yard.
If you're going to stop the run game, you better be physical up front on the defensive line. They've got some maulers. They've got some dudes with bad intentions. Nice play there.
This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Extending the play. Bought a little time, lets it go. Got his man. He's knocked down just short of the 30 at the 29-yard line. It brings up 4th down. Can you believe this? The offense is going for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Gets drilled as he throws. The big pressure on 4th down, and they'll get it back.
Love the coverage on defense there. 4th down. They were ready for the pass, and you saw in the back end, great job being in position to make that play, and now their offense is coming on the field.
They'll start this drive with a pass. Hit hard just as he released it on 1st down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell incomplete.
After the incompletion, back to the passing game. Unleashes one. He's got him wide open. He'll be stopped just short of the end zone, but they'll have it first and goal.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
Being aware of the entire situation, maybe you just let that ball go out of bounds, but he makes the catch and he'll lose yardage. That's the end of the quarter, and Boise State has the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. Our final quarter is on deck, and it looks as if they are ready to go. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout called.
Timeout, Michigan.
They'd love to start this quarter off with a touchdown right here. Defensive coordinator showing heat before the snap. Looking to get it in. Touchdown, Michigan. They wanted to finish, and that they did on that possession. They'll line up to go for two. From the gun. Just a bit of a misfire there as they can't make the connection.
That keeps the score. Boise State 28, Michigan 12.
The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. And he's coming out of the end zone. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Boise State ready to send out that offense. There have been a couple of missed opportunities for these offenses in the last couple of drives, Jesse.
And I think for this offense here, it'd be nice to hit an explosive play, be aggressive, and really pay off your defense's effort that last drive.
And instead of having to move the ball down the field consistently and then getting stopped on fourth downs, you're right. Create some of those explosives. Take those deep shots. Make those big plays.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. Wants to adjust the pattern. He'll send the tight end in motion. Toss to the left. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. Be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, backed up inside their 20. The play action fake. He rifles one deep down the right side.
3rd and long situations are really hard to convert. The defense knows it's going to be passed. The pass rushers are getting upfield. You're under pressure. You don't have timing. And as a result now, 4th down.
And the returner could find no daylight. He goes down. So here comes the Michigan offense. Looking to throw on 1st down. Nowhere to go with the ball, and down he goes at the 39.
And the defense there goes zone coverage, maybe confused the quarterback a little bit, forced him to hold on to the football, and that allowed the pass rush to get home.
And the Wolverines trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Wide receiver going in motion. 2nd down, he'll throw it. Got his man quickly. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks.
It's always interesting how people handle late game. Like, you know this game is over. There's not a lot to gain from it, but some people try to throw the ball deep and continue to make plays. They throw it short. The clock's running out, and there's not a lot to talk about that's going to be positive for this offense.
On 3rd down, he drops to throw. Dances away. Outside the pocket, lets it go. Got his man all by himself. Inside the 15, out of bounds at the 14-yard line. The offense looking for a score. They absolutely had to have that 3rd down to keep any glimmer of hope alive.
And defensively, that's exactly what I want. Make you get to 3rd down. The clock is your enemy. Multiple possession lead. That is right where I want this offense.
They're looking to pass from the red zone. Buys a little time. Lets it fly. He was open, he had it, and he dropped it. Would have been a touchdown. Instead, it's 2nd down.
What a play by the defender there, guys. In his own end zone, the offense has taken a shot, and if that defender was just one step behind, that would have been a touchdown. But the hit forces the incompletion.
Right back up top on 2nd and 10. He caught it. He's run out of bounds after the big gain, and they are in business. 1st and goal.
Important in the passing game that it's not just receivers doing all the work. You got to get running backs involved. You got to get your big fellas. You got to get the tight ends going too.
The Wolverines are moving quickly down the field. He's looking to throw. Into the end zone. And he wanted to get the score right there, but it falls incomplete.
Well, that last incompletion is a good example of why your timing has to be so good as a quarterback, because the windows, they open and they close so quickly in this part of the field.
Can the defense stop them again on 2nd and goal? Motion from the wideout. They want to run this quarterback, and he'll be stopped for no gain, still sitting at the 3-yard line.
Well, we know this defense is one that plays with a lot of pride, right? Part of that is their ability stopping the run. They're a top 25 unit in the nation when it comes to stopping the rush, and that really helps them out down here in the red zone. They're going to have to step up big time in this
to the running game here on 3rd and goal. He's a tough, crafty back, but he couldn't find his way to the marker, and it'll be 4th down.
The defense is going to need one more stop. This is the game right now. You just got one on that last run play, setting up 4th down. Do you bring pressure? What are we doing defensively here to make sure that we can get off the field and win this game?
A 4th quarter field goal down by this much, that's a lot like putting a lipstick on the proverbial pig. Doesn't do much to change the looks. Got to score the touchdown on 4th. Big tight end makes the grab. 1st down, still on his feet. And to the end zone. Touchdown, Wolverines. Field shrinks, tight end grows. Big targets, big results.
I've never heard it put that way, but you're dang right. That guy is so big. A lot of times you get a DB matched up on him. He can just post him up. A linebacker, he can run by him. So that's why these tight ends are so dangerous down here in this red zone.
The snap sets up the throw. He's got it. 2-pointer is good, and now it's a 1-score game here deep in the 4th. So that's a 60-yard touchdown drive. So after getting into the end zone on that last drive, they're set to kick it away. And he's going to bring this one out. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Boise State has it back, ready to go to work on offense. They didn't get much done the last time they had it, had to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive. First play of the drive, wants to throw. Got rid of it in a hurry, but he couldn't find his man. It's incomplete.
Yeah, I don't know if the quarterback got confused on 1st down. He might have thought the defense was going to be in man coverage that time, but they were in zone. They fooled him and just didn't seem like he had his eyes in the right place, was forcing that ball to his intended target. The window way too small. The guy was not open, so that didn't have that chance to be complete.
What will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? Couldn't connect on 1st down, now back to the air. Fires to the big fella. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
I like the idea by the quarterback there. You're trying to get this 1st down, so you find the tight end, see if he can make a guy miss or shake a tackle. Not able to get it done.
Now facing a 3rd and long. Motion from the wide receiver. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Makes the grab on the left. Turning it on. And the explosiveness, the big gainer gets it to the 49-yard line.
And that is big time. Late in the game that you can trust your quarterback to still throw the football because you know it's only a few more 1st downs. And this one's over. Nice to have a guy like that you can trust.
The Broncos will snap it on 1st and 10. Looking to throw again. Unloads to the wideout. Makes the grab. Makes the grab, and a nice gain gets it to the 35.
You know what's interesting? At this point of the game, with the lead in the 4th quarter, the defense is expecting them to run the ball. And because they're putting so many guys close to the line of scrimmage, they're taking advantage, throwing it. 2 straight completions now back to back.
They're down to the 35 on 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. Just a short pass to the tight end. Didn't pick up a lot there, moved it forward just a few.
Yeah, And tight ends aren't just line up and block guys anymore. These guys are athletes. You line them up all over the field. And nowadays, you can start to feature them more and more in the passing game.
Got the completion on the last play. Still some work to do on second down. Making side adjustments here. Second down, they'll go to the air. Got him downfield. And he's brought down after a nice gain. How about the zip this junior put on that ball to pick up the first down?
This is so interesting right now watching this offense stay aggressive. They've got the lead in the fourth quarter, and you're thinking at home, we got to just run the ball and try to bleed the clock. They found something on defense they're taking advantage of. 2 straight completions. I won't be surprised if they throw it again.
They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion.
Listen, running backs are not just running backs anymore. You're going to be a wide receiver in today's football, and a great job sneaking out of the backfield, getting them the football, letting them get some positive yards.
They'll run play action. Going for 6. And he reels it in for a touchdown, and that just might seal it.
And, you know, late in the games, offenses sometimes get conservative when they got the lead and they got the ball. I love this offense. They were aggressive. They got another score added to the lead. Now you're trying to salt this game away.
And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Fellas, take a peek at what's happening in this interesting battle in the MAC. Western Michigan is in front. They've been impressive today, but they still have to finish the job, and that is not a given. They're up by 8 over Bowling Green. Your boy KC has you covered here in studio, guys, in case anything changes in this meeting in the MAC.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Starts a drive, trying to go up top. Pressure coming. And here's a fumble way behind the line. Defense falls on the ball. Going to be a turnover.
Man, that's crippling because offensively you had to do something with the football, make a play. You fumble the ball, put it on the turf. Defense recovers. With this deficit, ball game over.
And they don't have to go for a touchdown here with this little time left and with the lead, but they might anyway. A first down run in the red zone. Touchdown Broncos! And the beatdown has ensued. That one puts them in really good shape to get back on the right track and get another W. That one might have put the finishing touches on this game.
This one is over. Game, set, match. The defense had a chance to maybe kind of keep their team in it, but the offense said, take it to the locker room.
And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. They'll start this drive from the 18-yard line. Going right to work up top. Moving out of the pocket. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
Well, at this point, you're still trying to throw stuff up against the blackboard and see if it sticks. You're down by a lot of points, so why not try it, right? And give the offense credit. You know, you're not just going to run the football. You're not just going to take a knee and go into the locker room with your tail between your legs. I like the fighting spirit, just not enough of that.
Intercepted, and the defense has set him up. Made the play on the bit, was hoping to make one on the return. He'll have to settle for letting the offense pay it off from the 26.
And how about that? That's the first INT for this guy. Like, he's gone all throughout this year, taking care of the football, making plays, really, really building trust with his offensive coordinator. First mistake, hey, listen, put it behind you. You've had a great season so far, young man.
Wants has to throw on first down. Trying to get rid of it. Just couldn't find an open man. He'll get rid of it, and it'll be second down.
And that's a good stop for this defense. And listen, there hasn't been a lot of positive today, but let's finish this game strong. I think that'll be the message from the defensive coordinator. Can we get a stop? Can we get them off the field? I know lots went wrong, but let's live in this moment and try to be great right here to end the game.
On second down, he'll try to make the connection.
And how about this offense? They're not worried about the clock. They're not worried about the score. They're not worried about early and down. Still trying to execute their offense. Still trying to make big plays. And they've had a great day so far.
And guys, they really need to make something happen on this third and long. They'll move the wide receiver. On third and long, trying to have a big completion here. Misses again. It's incomplete, and that's 3 in a row.
And the defense gets the big third down stop, creates some momentum. Hey, I don't know if they're going to go for it on fourth down, but the defense is continuing to fight, continuing to hustle, continue to fly around. These are positive signs from a group that needs to continue to grow, needs to continue to build, needs to continue to get better.
They already have a comfortable lead up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it here on fourth down. Wide receiver comes in motion. On fourth down, looking to pass. Fires to the wideout. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. Defense is there to make the stop, but he's got the first down, and they'll have it first and goal at the 6. They'll call timeout with 9 seconds left on the clock. While this game is all but decided, the offense's job is to score, so they might try to score again. He's looking to throw. Under fire. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Boise State. They push out that lead a bit and draw much closer to a win here in Week 9.
And they just keep piling on the points. We've seen in big moments in this game, they have been able to step up and deliver, particularly on offense. Very impressive performance.
Kickoff unit getting some extra work as this lead has really grown. He'll start the return inside his 5. He stopped the return right there, and that will do it. This one is in the books.